Hello and you're very welcome to this pit stop for Aerion, designed by Shadi Torbey, published by Z-Man Games. This is a 1 to 2 player cooperative game in which you're attempting to build 6 airships before the cards run out by getting a blueprint and the constituent parts off the airship into one of your 2 workshops down here at the bottom. Now it's a dice rolling game. There are 6 decks of cards and they are ordered by what you need to roll in order to take one of these cards. So at the beginning of each turn, you will roll your 6 dice, and we are going to blatantly cheat all the way through this demonstration. Luckily there, I completely naturally rolled 2 pairs, and it's similar to that across the top of all of these cards. So this deck here requires 2 pairs to take this card. This is 3 of a kind and 2 of another. 2 threes or 3 pairs, 4 of a kind, or a row that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, I've rolled my 2 pairs here, meaning immediately if I wish to, I could draft the card underneath here. And this is a blueprint and I need those to build my airship, so I'm going to draft it down here. Now we've got 2 areas, which are 2 workshops, meaning I can only ever work on 2 airships at once. And if as soon as I take a card, that is then going to go into the end phase of the turn in which we replenish. We simply draw the top card of a deck and put it back into play like that. And we continue on to the next round. Now for the next one, we're going to roll and we're going to show how we get some rerolls. I'm looking down here at this card, this blueprint, and it requires me to have one of these vertices and one of these Sognoi crew members, which we'll find over here. So I need to roll 4 of a kind or 2 threes. Now, unfortunately, I rolled 4 of a kind, so we're going to have to cheat in reverse there. Let's say I rolled like this, and I'm going to go for these 4s. So I've got 2 4s already, but I'm going to have to re-roll these. In order to re-roll, there are 2 ways. Now, the main way is to throw a card away. And I said we're going to lose the game by running out of cards. I don't need one of these cocoons at the moment, so I'm going to throw that one away into its discard pile over there at the top. And I get 1 re-roll of any dice that I wish. If I need to continue re-rolling, I can then continue throwing cards away and re-rolling the dice until I decide I'm happy with what I've got. Or if there's only 1 card left in the display, then I must stop. Now in this case, let's say I'm happy with what I've got. I'm going to take one of these helices there, put it down. Then all the cards that I have taken are going to get replaced, and this is how we're going to be burning through our decks. Now, if we continue through here and I roll again and I get what I need to get one of these 2, so let's say that I'm going to select these 5s and I'm going to get 4 5s in one go because I'm incredibly lucky like that. And I get this last crew member. Now, when you take a blueprint or you take one of these pieces, be it one of these helices or one of these nuts or one of those cocoons we looked at earlier, they can go into a workshop by themselves. It's no problem. So if I did take this nut, it can go in here and start my second airship. With these 2 types of crew, they can't start things off by themselves. They can only finish things. But let's say with these 4 5s, I did finish it and put this crew member into play. I've now got the 3 constituent parts for this particular airship. So I can discard these cards out my workshop and clear it and flip this over. And I'm 1/6 of the way to finishing the game. Again, I'd have to replenish all of these and we would move onwards. Now, if you build all 6, lovely, you've won. Another way in which you can re-roll your dice, though, is by using these pixies down here. You get 3 of them for the whole game, but once you use them, they're thrown away and used forever. The last thing is these cards. Now, when you draft one of these book cards that look like this, it comes down here into a new area called the pulpit. And in the pulpit, you can only ever hold 1 card at a time. But whenever I want to during the game, I can discard this card in order to take one of 3 different effects. Now, if I throw it, it will give me 3 re-rolls, should I choose to use them. I don't have to use them all. Or, let's say I was looking to keep hold of one of these incubi, I create an area called the reserve. And by throwing this book card away, I can take one of these element cards and put it into the reserve. And that's going to be available to me at any time to move over into one of my workshops as I require it. The last use for these book cards are, if I've got it there in my pulpit, I can discard it in order to take 2 cards out of their discard pile and put them back on top of the appropriate pile, as long as I'm not taking book cards out, because I can't create a chain with those, an endless loop, and they can go back on top. And the reason I might want to do that is I keep talking about running out of cards. If ever all of these decks of cards are empty and there's no cards left down here in this offer, that is how you're going to lose if you haven't built the 6 airships and in order to win Arian. Now that's the base game, and I'm going to quickly talk about expansions because there are 6 different expansions included within the base box. So I'm just going to touch on the first couple to give you an idea how they mix things up, and you can discover the rest yourself. In the first expansion here, what happens is you're going to get these extra cards, these flagship cards here, and you're going to roll dice and you get 2 of these, and they'll give you extra powers, making your book cards more powerful or giving you rerolls, whatever it might be. However, you'll get this tricky to build flagship ship, which is a 7th airship you'll have to build in order to win the game. In the second expansion, you get these hourglass cards. Now, they get mixed into all the regular decks, giving you more time and more ability to discard and so on. However, at the end of the game, you must have claimed 6 of these hourglass cards, which are useless to you, apart from having to claim them. If you haven't claimed 6 of them when you build all your airships or before these run out, then that's another way you can lose. And all the expansions work the same way. They give you a benefit, but they also make the game slightly harder. So whether you choose to play base game, mix and match in the expansions, that is a pit stop for Aerion. This has come to you from the Game Pit. For more in-depth coverage of gaming, please check out the Game Pit podcast. Thank you very much.